Hello, today we're going to be talking about human evolution, and we're going to be learning about all of our different human ancestors. So, humans and chimpanzees diverged from a common ancestor between 5 and 7 million years ago. We know this because there were so many paleoanthropologists out there that have unearthed different hominids. They study human origins and the evolution. And as we go through them, I'll try to give you some information on how they were found and where and so forth. So, a hominid is our ancestor. This is a bipedal, human-like animal that belongs to the same family as us, as modern humans. Okay? Now, as we go through this, we're going to be learning all the different names. Okay, this is called the footprints of Laeteli, and this was huge evidence that our ancestors actually walked upright. And you can see here that they are walking on 2 feet, and that was huge evidence. Okay, so we're going to be talking about all of these different hominids. Okay, the A stands for Australopithecine, and the H stands for Homo. So there's 2 main lines. And there are other hominids that have been unearthed. And again, every day they are still digging and trying to find out more about our history. So the oldest hominid that's ever been unearthed lived about 7 to 6 million years ago. Okay, I'm not going to even try to say that word. That is the oldest hominid. Another one, A. anamensis, it was 4 million years ago. It did have leg bones that suggest that the early hominids were getting more bipedal. Okay, so A. afarensis. So I'm playing this song because this song from the Beatles, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, was playing when they discovered her. So Lucy was discovered by Donald Johanson. Okay, this is the first of the Australopithecines, or the A. afarensis. It means southern ape. Okay, they had long arms. They were bipedal, but very ape-like in appearance. They had very small canine teeth. Their cheek teeth were large and had a thick coating of an animal. And that was probably an adaptation to eating large quantities of fruits, seeds, tubers, roots, pods, and so forth. There was no evidence of them using any tools. Twigs, sticks, leaves, and probably just regular rocks were probably what they used. Okay, so Lucy lived in East Africa. Okay, and they roughly feel she was 25 years old. She was about 3 feet tall and weighed about 66 pounds, which is typically what a 4th grader would weigh. All right, they did eat nuts, seeds, bird eggs, and their brain capacity was pretty much the size of chimps. Okay, and again, Donald Johanson found her in 1974 in Ethiopia. Okay, and that's kind of what she looked like. Again, very ape-like. That's just her remains. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is called A. africanus. A. africanus, or Australopithecus africanus, lived in southern Africa at slightly a later time than Lucy. So about 3.3 million years ago. She was heavier, or they were heavier and taller. They walked a little bit more upright. They had more of a bowl-shaped pelvis. Their brain was a little bigger. They had larger molars than Afarensis. And this was discovered in South Africa, okay, by Raymond Dartmouth. This is just some pictures of what that would look like. All right, A. robustus was in southern Africa, 2.5 to 3 million years ago. Still eating nuts, fruit, of course, vegetation. Bigger back teeth, heavier skull, weighed a little bit more, brain getting a little better. This was found in 1938 by a schoolboy in South Africa. It had more of a flatter face. There was about a 15% increase in the brain size and much more robust. Okay, and that's what they look like. Now I just want to point out that they're staying in one spot, so that is indication that they're not hunting, and their teeth is showing that they are eating vegetation, nuts, and fruit and such. All right, A. boise lived in eastern Africa about 1 to 2 million years ago. This was found by Mary Leakey in 1959, and we call this guy the Nutcracker Man or the Zing Man. They are a little bit larger, more robust, heavier skulls, larger back teeth, bigger brain. Again, every hominid we're finding gets a little more bigger, taller, better teeth, bigger brain, and so forth. So now we're on to the Homo line. Homo habilis did live around the same time as the Australopithecus boise, so about 1.6 to 2.4 million years ago. They are found in South and East Africa, okay, and they were discovered by Mary Leakey. Now we call them the handyman because we have found stone tools near their remains. And there is evidence that they ate meat because there were tool marks on animal bones also in the area. All right, so Mary Leakey discovered about 1960. It was also evident that speech was becoming more developed. So a couple quick things. We're eating meat, our teeth are changing, we're moving, we're now in South and East Africa, so we're following animals. And again, handyman because we have tools. Okay, Homo ergaster was 1.9 to 1.6 million years ago. Larger brains. Their legs were a little bit more slender, and their hip joints kind of showed that they were able to walk longer distances. They had much more sophisticated stone stools, and they're showing that they're eating more meat, that they're not really having those big teeth in the back. They're getting their canines. Okay, and males are now being shown to be much larger than the females. Homo erectus is definitely moving. We're Africa, Europe, China, Java. So we're definitely hunting. They were the first to migrate out of Africa, and they lived, about 1.5 million years ago. Okay, we call them the upright man. Okay, and really, they were so impressive that they started to use fire. Okay, they did have charred bones. They lived in groups. They had caves. More human-like face. Their large brow ridges, low forehead, lower jaw that sloped back. They had a small, if any, chin. Large front teeth. Cheek and size teeth were smaller. They did eat plants and meat, okay, and they started to make hand axes, okay, and they were found, about 14 individuals were found together back in 1929 through 1937, so they did unearth them in a group. There was a remain found with only one tooth, so they lived long enough to have their gums changed, so that kind of suggests that someone started to take care of them. Okay, H. heidelbergensis was about 600,000 years ago, again in Africa. All right, the Neanderthals. These are the archaic Homo sapiens, okay? They were named this because fossils were discovered in the Neander Valley in Germany. And this was about 130,000 to 35,000 years ago. They are huge. They're much more robust. They're larger. Their muscle attachment sites on their bones indicate that they were far stronger than we were. Their bones were heavier. Their teeth were larger. They were more worn. The wear might have resulted from using their teeth as tools or from maybe their diet. Their thick, heavy brow ridges on their face. They had a small chin. They had a thick skull. They were powerfully built and taller, about 5 feet tall, stocky. Now, they buried their dead, and this is quite significant. Sometimes they placed them with stone jewelry, flowers. They were very creative artists in their caves. They did use the tools. Their pictures depicted that they killed woolly mammoths, cave bears. Okay, they were quite impressive. Now, burying their dead, again, they're starting to take care of their community. They're thinking maybe religion was kind of getting believed in. Okay, the Cro-Magnon or the Homo sapiens sapiens. This is pretty much us as modern humans. They lived in Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, 30,000 to 40,000 years ago. They have large brows and teeth. Again, cave dwellers, fully modern in structure, taller, maybe up to 6 feet tall, higher foreheads, prominent chin, no brow ridge. So they're fully modern in height, skull structure, skeleton, teeth, and brain size. They did use tools, advanced tools, blades, harpoons, scrapers, fishhooks, needles, drills. They did hunt. They did use clothing. Again, talented with their artists, written and spoken language. And again, this was found all in their caves. They felt they built cities. They decorated caves with paintings of animals they hunted. Again, large brains. Very impressive and very modern to what we have. If you have any questions, please see me tomorrow. Thanks.